Tension today. Philippines continue military supply in South China Sea after Navy incident. China reminds not to provoke. The Philippine Defense Minister said China used aggressive and illegal forces to disrupt supply mission to the South China Sea. The Philippine Defense Minister said China used aggressive and illegal forces to disrupt supply mission to the South China Sea. The Philippines said last week's maritime incident, which injured its sailors, was neither a misunderstanding nor an accident. We do not underestimate the incident, Defense Minister Gilberto Teodoro reported by Reuters Monday, June 24. Philippine sailors suffered serious injuries after what the Philippine military described as deliberately high-speed complaints by the Chinese Coast Guard aimed at disrupting a troop supply mission stationed at 2nd Thomas Shoal on June 17. The Philippines also described this incident as a pirate act because China's Penatag guards carried axes and other sharp objects while boarding the Philippine ship. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs denies the Philippines statement. Spokesman said the actions taken by the Coast Guard were legitimate and professional actions. We see the latest events in Ayungin not as a misunderstanding or accident. This is a deliberate action by Chinese officials to prevent us from completing our mission, said Teodoro, using local names for 2nd Thomas Shoal. It is the use of aggressive and illegal forces. But we continue to find peaceful solutions to this problem, said Teodoro. Teodoro said the Philippines would continue to increase its supply of troops stationed on ships mangrossed at 2nd Thomas Shoal. Responding to Teodoro's statement, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the Philippines must stop its violations and provocations and work with China to maintain peace and stability in the South China Sea. Philippines wants to talk with China on South China Sea, Foreign Minister says. The Philippines is working hard to bring China back to the table for talks to resolve differences in the South China Sea, Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo said on Tuesday. The two countries held a working group meeting last week in preparation for a potential bilateral consultation mechanism meeting in July, Manalo told a Senate inquiry on Tuesday. Whatever confidence-building measures we achieve, they will be not at the expense of promotion of our sovereignty, sovereign rights, as well as our rights and jurisdiction on the West Philippine Sea, Manalo said. The Philippines uses the West Philippine Sea name for the portion of South China Sea that it claims. China claims almost the entire South China Sea with its so-called 9-dash line, which overlaps the exclusive economic zones of rival claimants Brunei, Malaysia, Philippines, Taiwan, and Vietnam. A 2016 arbitral tribunal ruling, which Beijing does not recognize, invalidated China's claim in the strategic waters. Vietnam, concerned about surging tensions in South China Sea, reaches out to Manila for talks. The Vietnamese government called for restraint from China and the Philippines following last week's violent confrontation in the South China Sea. Vietnam is closely monitoring and deeply concerned about the incident on June 17, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Pham Thu Hang said on Friday. On other media, 4 U.S. Marine F-35B Fighting J dropped 7 GBU-32-500 ground-guided bombs on targets floating off the coast of western Luzon in the South China Sea in a first-of-its-kind bilateral exercise last week. During the strike mission, Brig. Gen. Robert Brody, commander of our Marine Expeditionary Force, and Brig. Gen. Romeo Recadio, deputy commandant of the Philippine Marine Corps, stood side by side at the latter force's headquarters in Fort Bonifacio during June 15's Marine Aviation Support Activity 2024 literal live-fire exercise. The IMADF commander said that this activity was the first time he was able to realistically command and control forces with a foreign commander. While MASA is smaller than the annual Bulacan drills, which usually include the lion's share of activities and new equipment from U.S. and Philippine forces, it's teaching valuable lessons on how to fight jointly, Brody said. I've never been able to do that outside of a very scripted way, Brody told USN News in a phone interview following the exercise. This year was the most fluid event I've ever been involved with, and literally sitting next to another general officer, the deputy commandant of the Philippine Marine Corps, having a conversation about target engagement, rules of engagement, and how we would employ our assets together. First time I've ever done anything like that. It was absolutely amazing. Using intelligence from Philippine Navy and Air Force drones, the two commanders and their staff relayed orders to a C-130 orbiting near the exercise area that hosted the Aviation Command element. From there, this element passed the necessary targeting information to 4 F-35B from the Black Sheep Marine Fighter Attack Squadron, VMFA 214. Once the F-35Bs found their targets, this information was relayed back to the Combined Command Center where Brody and Recadio went through the real objective of the exercise: bilateral fires coordination.